So today, this is a 2015 Land Rover Range Rover. This thing is in because one of the drain tube connectors has rusted off of it. So this is a perfect time to illustrate why these jobs are so complex, but also some of the things that can go wrong with sunroof drain pans. And I know we've done videos in the past on how to clean out sunroof drain pans or how to clean out sunroof drains. And this will give you an idea of actually how the drain pan assembly functions so that you can get a better understanding of it. So this is a dealer supplied part. Now, they consider this like a panoramic roof assembly. So this is the roof of the car. So what we're doing on this job is we're cutting the roof of this car off and replacing it with a new piece. The way these sunroof drain pans function is anywhere that water can come in, it flows down into a cavity right here, and there's a hole right here for all the water to drain out of. If this gets blocked up with leaves or dirt or pollen or anything, it has a tendency of causing water to back up into the car and flow out into the car. Now, this particular vehicle, the reason we're replacing this pan assembly is because on the old pan, this drain connector right here rusted off. This is a steel sheet metal stamped pan assembly, and this fitting right here just rusted clean off at it. So what's happening is every time it rains or they go through a car wash or anything like that, all the water that's coming on the roof of the car on the driver's side is just pouring right into the cab of the car. It's going all down into the floor. So most of the time it doesn't make itself appear. What I've noticed with these Rovers when there's an issue like this. This is the second one we've encountered where this is rusted off. The water doesn't present itself up high where you think it would present. What happens is the water flows in, it hits the backside of the headliner, and then it flows down the B pillar or the C pillar panels and runs right down into the floor, and you wind up with massive amounts of water in the floor. I think we can probably show you, it's still got some water in the floor. I touched it this morning, and you can see where this guy is wet, but that water, it's holding that water. Now, if it's this wet, this high up, the way these floors are put together is they've got massive amounts of room between the actual bottom of the floor and the carpet. There's foam pads, there's spacers in here. So I wouldn't doubt it if this car's got a couple inches of water in the floor on the driver's side. So we're not gonna handle any of the water issues. That's all going back to the dealer. They can handle getting it dry, any replacement of the carpet or anything that's necessary. But we're gonna do this pan assembly. So the lighting's real terrible in here. So it's gonna be pretty hard to show you where the fittings rusted off. Well, let's see if we can get focused on this. You can see where this fitting is completely rusted off inside of this hose. So, and the hose is all swollen up, nasty looking. That's from it rusting off. Now, maybe we can get down in here and look. So the fitting on the other part on the stand over there is right here, is what I'm pointing out. So you can see the rust flaking off of this thing and falling, and this plugs up and this drain line runs down and comes out of the car back here at this C pillar assembly. So over time, this thing is rusted and it's falling off. They got tons of water coming in. Like I was just saying earlier, this is not the first time I have encountered this specific style Land Rover rusting off the same way. We had a customer a couple of years ago. We come out, we put a windshield in the car. And they had recently bought this car now. They had only owned it, I think 4 to 6 months, something like that. Call us out to put a windshield in. We install the windshield, and I think a week later, we got massive amounts of rain. It was a Memorial Day weekend, and it was the most rain we had had all year for that year, and then even into the previous year. We had gone kind of through a dry spell. And all of a sudden this car is just soaking wet. They're like, hey, your windshield's leaking. So we go back out, I water test it, and I can't find anything wrong with it. We opt to do the job again for the customer just to verify. I can pull the part out and check everything and make sure the bond was great all the way around it, and it was, so it wasn't a windshield. We educated the customer on that, but their issue still continued. So we, as a favor to the customer, because they couldn't find anybody to help them out, I said, well, bring it to me, drop it off, and we'll take a peek at it and see if we can figure out where the water's coming in. I'm assuming it's something to do with the sunroof. And I found this exact same issue on the driver's side. So this is number 2. This is the second vehicle I've encountered this on. I don't know if this is something we're going to see more often. I would presume it is. And I don't know what causes it other than maybe a dirty drain line, and then the trash that's sitting in it causes rust and causes it to fall apart eventually. So this is an absolutely giant job. A large portion of the interior has to come out of it. This panel is bolted in and glued in, so we got to unbolt it and then go through the process of cutting it out. We pull the panel off of it. The shade assembly, the motor, the wind deflector up front, all of these parts have to be transitioned over to the new panel, and then that new panel goes back in. Now it's going to take 3 to 4 people to set this part in. Just due to the nature of the multiple parts and the way this thing's put together, you can't really put cups on it and set it in with some sort of a tool because there's too many sensitive items on it. So there's going to be 4 of us. We're going to have to walk it up over the top, and we're going to have to get on steps just like this right here and walk it over, and then we'll set this whole unit down in here and bolt it back down and go back together. So like I said, the dealer initially started this, and when the tech got into it, it was a bit out of his comfort zone. So they called us up about taking care of it for them, and I had them bring it on over. We just got it in this morning. We'll see if we can have this thing knocked out the next day or 2 and send it back to them. But I wish we could do a video on this one, the whole process, but this thing is it's a massive amount of content. I think this job pays out something like 10 hours, 10, 12 hours. It's just a giant job, so we're not going to be able to shoot a video on the whole thing. But if you have a Rover of any sort and you encounter an issue like this, we'd be glad to stick some water on it and figure out where your issue is. So if you want to, just shoot us a call at 843-379-7222, or you can stop by and see us at 820F Paris Island Gateway, and that's in Beaufort, South Carolina. If you'd like to see more content like this, please go like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And we are constantly putting out new information like this to keep the consumer informed. We appreciate you taking the time and watching this video. Thank you.